Good morning, Dawn McAlpin here with Coldwell Banker West, and welcome to my Monday morning musings. What I want to talk to you today about is credit, whether it's your credit leading up to applying for a mortgage loan, and your credit as we move into escrow. So to start with, I've been asked, why was I quoted an interest rate of 3.25 and my uncle is has locked in at 2.5? So there's no easy answer, but there's a very general and broad response. Your uncle has likely had more years of credit history, meaning he's had debt that he's paid off over many years that shows a new lender what his credit worthiness is. Your credit history may not be as long as your uncle's, and maybe you have missed a couple of payments here and there over the years. Perhaps your uncle's income compared to how much he owes on credit cards and car loans and mortgages and things, maybe his ratio is lower with debt to his income compared to yours. These factors come into play when you're applying for a loan because the lender wants to know how likely you are to be able to repay that 15-year loan or 30-year loan. So if you have had any negative credit marks, meaning late payments over your credit history, or perhaps you've declared bankruptcy in the last few years, perhaps you've had a car repossessed, any of these factors in your credit history affect the lender's willingness to lend to you. So the higher your credit score, the lower the interest rate you're going to be offered. And the lower your credit score, the higher the interest rate you're going to be offered. Now, let's just say you've gone ahead and you've been approved for a loan and you have found a home and your offer's been accepted and now you're in escrow. So the lender nowadays, the lender is the day or two before your loan is going to be funded. That means the day or two before the lender writes a check to pay off the seller's mortgage and put your new loan on the property. A day or two before the loan funds, they pull your credit again. So if you have charged a new couch or bought a new car or a new refrigerator, or you haven't paid your rent in the last 6 months because you were saving money for a down payment, well, now all of those negative marks start to impact the lender's willingness to fund that loan. And it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's catastrophic. When the lender says 2 days before you're expecting to move into your new home that you and your family are super excited about, the sellers have already packed up and they're ready to move out, and they find out you don't qualify. The lender will not fund your loan. So you're just out of business. So many lenders go ahead and prepare, home buyers for this possibility. And they ask you, before you make any purchases, clear it with me. Because if your debt goes up and your income doesn't, then your debt to income ratio is not as good as it was perhaps when you did get approved for your loan initially. And now with that new car, the new couch, or the new refrigerator, or missing payments in the last few months since your pre-approval was given, the lender says, no more, you're too high of a risk and we're not willing to fund. So protect your credit leading up to wanting to buy a car or a home. Make your payments on time. Don't run your credit all the way up to your max. And if you're in escrow and when you're in escrow, no major purchases. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. I'll respond as quickly as I can. Again, Dawn McAlpin, Coldwell Banker West, just my Monday morning musings. I'll talk to you next week.